you're in my memories when I'm gone. I feel your heartbeat close to mine. When in Heidelberg, late at night, the lights are slowly fading. The old town starts to fall asleep. The work is done. It's time to make a rest now. Take a break to face another busy. Like you in the sun. Your people are so friendly. You're in my memories when I'm gone. I feel your heartbeat close to mine. When in Heidelberg, late at night, the lights are slowly fading. The old town starts to fall asleep. The work is done. It's time to make a rest now. Take a break to face another busy week. Heidelberg, romantic German city. You're so old, but lively like a child. A famous place so many people dream of when they come to see your castle in the moonlit sky. Bridge and the Neckar, Heidelberg, where the student princess been. Heidelberg, all kinds of people get together from all over the world. Heidelberg, I feel your heartbeat close to mine. Heidelberg, I feel your heartbeat close to mine. I feel your heartbeat close to mine. I feel your heartbeat close to mine.
I wanted to show you here, I have calculated more or less a travel budget. Okay, it's something, it's more or less my budget that I was thinking in my head for a weekend, only one night. But maybe what we can discuss, maybe some people pay more. We can talk later about this. Here, for example, in the map, you can see where is located Heidelberg. You see it's very central in Europe. You can come from London, from Paris, it's not very far. It's for this I was thinking to make a weekend there. You can come even from Marseille in France, from Venice, from Vienna, from Munich, Prague. You see it's more or less in the center, and it's very good to communicate. And here on the right, I have put more or less my travel budget. For example, I have calculated more or less to have 500 euro, but included the flight, round trip flight with a shuttle from the airport, round trip. And the lodging is only one night, I have calculated, but in a hotel, not in something cheaper. And breakfast, I have calculated more or less in a 4-star hotel, okay? if you want, you can have more cheaper. And here for the lunch, for the diner, more or less the price I have put for a weekend 2 and 2, more or less. After I then add the event, because you have a lot, this is going to be an option. And the sightseeing tour, more or less, you can count, for example, 60 euro more or less for 2 tours. It depends this activity that you want to take. But for a weekend and 1 night, Saturday and Sunday, more or less, in a 4-star with flight, I have calculated more or less 500 euro. We can talk later. If you want, you can tell me something in the chat box. And yes, it's something that I like to, it's better to plan something all the more that we have. And of course, I didn't put here the cost that is you need to pay if you need to use now PCR and all this health cost that is an extra. Okay, yes, and here I wanted to introduce him. Here is his website. You see, this is introduction. Here is a website, is Henry Heidelberg Tours. I have put in the description the Instagram, and later if you want, he's in TripAdvisor too. And here you can have all the tour in this website. Today we are going to have in Primish, in avant-premiere, how we tell, a tour of the center, but you can check here all the tour that he does. Okay, this is I put here more or less a tour that we are going to see tonight. It's more to explore the most beautiful town in Germany. And yes, and I invite you if you want, yes, I put here, or I copy later the link, okay, for the website to check all. And yes, and here to finish, before to start the virtual tour, I wanted to introduce him. It's a live tour. I have checked yesterday, it was very good. And as I write in the description, Henry is based in Heidelberg, who does original private tours around Heidelberg, Germany, France, and Switzerland. Okay, he does in different cities, and he's going to focus in the romantic Heidelberg, which is world famous castle ruined majestically overlooking the roof, the old town, and the Neckar River. And yes, you can see here all the things. This virtual tour will take a bird's eye view of the many faces of the city. These unique shots will simply amaze you think. And if you want, you can find here in the Instagram is Henry Heidelberg Tours. It's easy if you want to follow all the things, and if you want to check all the product that all the tour that he does in life, you have all in the website, but you can check. I am going to put here, for example, I stop here to share
you a short virtual tour of what I like to call Germany's most beautiful city. And thank you very much to Carolina for all her wonderful research. She's done an amazing job to get this tour on. So just quickly about myself, I'm originally from England, born in London, but living here in Heidelberg for the last 14 years. And now I'm going to turn my camera around and we're going to start the virtual tour. Hope you can all hear me as I walk around. I'm not a professional virtual tour guide, not yet, but it's an interesting way to see the town. So I hope you can all hear me. That's my main concern at the moment. So we are now in the Karlsplatz, one of the biggest squares in Heidelberg, and I'm now going to show you one of the wonders of Heidelberg, which is the famous castle. I call it the second most famous castle in Germany, Neuschwanstein in Bavaria being the most famous. And there you go, that is the second most famous castle. I hope you can all see that. The picture's gone a bit dark on my phone for some reason. But there it is. And today it's a sort of mixture of a ruin and a restored building. It was all blown up by the French in 1693. That's why you have this destroyed tower on the right-hand side. And the building in the middle, which is in good condition, was restored in 1900. So today it's a bit of a mixture between a ruined castle and a restored castle. And I'm just going to show you a bit of this square. There's an interesting fountain has just sprung to life in front of me. This, of course, is one of our Corona test centers, which we now have all over the town now, although thankfully we do not have to test to do so much anymore. You can eat in a restaurant without having a test now. And another very important thing to know about Heidelberg is we have the oldest university in Germany here. And this building we are looking at is the German department of the university. So the university is scattered all around the old town. Here, and that's view up to the castle. There you have. Try and give you a shot with both. Okay, and now we're going to continue our tour. Heading towards the market square. As you probably know, Germans love a good bakery. And here is a famous Heidelberg bakery, Cafe Gundel. And on the way to the market square, I'm going to show you my favorite Heidelberg square. I think it's the prettiest of all the squares we have here. It's called the Corn Market. And it's this square here. And you also get a nice view of the castle from this square. So I'll let you enjoy the Corn Market. With castle in the background. And very charming square. Reminds me a little bit of France. And this big building over here is actually the side of the town hall, the Rathaus. And there's another Corona test center, these white tents. And now we're going to head to the market square, the main square of Heidelberg. That is the main church of the town, Church of the Holy Spirit. I'll let you enjoy the market square. All the tables and chairs are out. So, and there is the Rathaus, the town hall of Heidelberg. Very nice Baroque building, built in 1701. And lots of people out enjoying the warm weather today. We have had a very hot day here, over 35 degrees. And now I'm going to head down to the oldest street in Heidelberg, called the Steingasse, which means the stone lane. It's where you can get a crepe right in front of the church. People are always a bit surprised that they have these little stalls right nestled in right by the church. But it's actually something that goes way back in the history to have little stalls by the church. Just stop quickly here. There's a nice picture of Heidelberg from above the castle. So this here is the oldest street in Heidelberg. It's called the Steingasse, and it will take us down to the old bridge.
Oh, there it is! Yeah!
Famous brewery here.
Hi, babe. How are you?
This is the best ice cream stall in Heidelberg. As you probably know, Germans love ice cream. And these gates, this was the original entryway into Heidelberg. The door to the bridge. In case anybody likes a bit of history, this t-shirt is telling you that Heidelberg was founded in 1196 and that it's a famous university town. There we go. Heidelwood. Not quite sure what that means. Germany's Hollywood, maybe. So this is my favorite place in Heidelberg, to stand on the old bridge. And from here we will have a wonderful view of the castle. And here's the main river of the town. This is the Neckar River. That in the background is the Holy Mountain, which Carolina referred to in her introduction, the Heiligenberg, we say in German. And how about this for a view? Try and zoom in a little bit. Not too bad. Wow, yes, I like to say it's also considered one of the most romantic cities in Germany, Heidelberg. You can probably see why. A lot of charm. And a very beautiful location. As you can see, we are surrounded by forests here. This is the Odenwald forest, a big German forest that goes all the way up to Frankfurt and surrounds Heidelberg. And now I'm going to head back into town and show you some quaint back streets of the old town. I'm still not 100% sure that you can all hear me properly, so maybe somebody could write very briefly in the chat if you can hear me okay. All okay, sounds good. Great, thank you. Appreciate that. So if you ever take a tour with me, I will explain to you what this is. A strange baboon in the middle of the town. Have to have a little bit of suspense. This is an interesting building. This is a good hotel tip for you. It's called the Hollander Hof Hotel. It gives you a wonderful view onto the river and the bridge if you have a room, one of those rooms up there with those windows. And it's a very nice 3-star, 4-star hotel, not too expensive. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you why Heidelberg is called City of Romance. There's a lovely lady doing some modeling. We'll just have a quick woman in red. Yes. How's there? The woman in red. Lady in Red. Famous English song called Lady in Red. And how about this review? That is the old bridge in all its glory, basking in the evening sunlight. And the Holy Mountain. And the German flag, of course. That little ship there is actually the biggest solar-powered ship in the world. And it does nice little 45-minute trips up the river. And the good thing about it being a solar-powered boat is it's very quiet. So that's also a little tip for you. And now I'm going to head off to one of my favorite back streets. And as we're in Germany, we should all learn a little bit of German. So you can hopefully see that this little street is called the Pfaffengasse. And Gasse is German for lane. So this is the Pfaffen lane. It's very charming.
Wenn man sagt, okay, man behält die, weil man kann noch was schlafen. Dann muss man, finde ich, auch erkennen,
Hello. So how about this very charming, quaint Heidelberg back street? You have nice doorways like this one. As number 11 is my lucky number. We'll have a stop by the doorway to number 11 with Rose. And coming up on the right, we have an important historical site for you. You can hopefully see this flag telling you that an important man was born here. Probably a man you've all never heard of, but in Germany he's quite important. He's called Friedrich Ebert, and he was the first democratically elected president of Germany. And he was born up there on the first floor of this building. And this used to actually be quite a poor working class district of Heidelberg. His father was a very humble saddle maker. And his son went on to become Chancellor of Germany. And today there's also a museum in here. So this is open during the day and you can go into the free museum. And now, as I know you're all party people, I'm going to take you to the party street of Heidelberg. It's called the Untere Straße, and it's where some of our 40,000 students come to party on the weekend. The beer street, yes, you could also call it the beer street because there's lots of bars and clubs. It's a little bit quieter today. But you can see it's a nice place to eat out, which people are enjoying being able to do again after this is one of the most famous bars on the street. It's called the Vine Lock. If you're looking for a place where the locals go. Nice barrel above the doorway. Here's some people enjoying the football. Turkey 0, Wales 1. In case anybody needs a football update. And now we are coming up to the Heumarkt, which of course in German means the Haymarket. More people eating outside, lots of bicycles because we have so many students here. This is how, it's actually the best way to get around in Heidelberg is on a bicycle. I recommend you to rent a bicycle if you come here, or join me on one of my bicycle tours. Here's where the sophisticated people eat out with a tablecloth. Nice table for two here. That's the nice Heidelberg scene. A lot of writing going on in the chat. It's good to see. Not always possible for me to keep up with it all. Here we have something for our American friends. America's presence. Yeah, can you rent a bike? Was one question. Yes, you can rent city bikes all over the town. I'll try and show you some. The blue bicycles. This is the main street, known in German as the Hauptstraße. Also famous for being the longest pedestrian street in the whole of Europe. 1.6 kilometers long. More people eating outside. Here we have a interesting, more people enjoying the football. Okay, so we have now arrived at the University Square. So hopefully you can get an idea of where we are now. So, oldest university in the whole of Germany, founded in 1386. And this is the place where it all began. Exactly in this building here. Not in this very building, because the original building got burnt down by the French in 1693, but in this location. Lots of history. Yeah, we've got 800 years of history in the town. That is the spire of the Catholic Church there, the Jesuit Church. Are there many expats? Yes, we have lots of expats here. Very international town. Something I enjoy about living here. Many different nationalities here. And there we are now looking at the main lecture halls of the university. And Talking of the university, that there is the logo of the university, telling you it was founded in 1386. They have a very good slogan, the future since 1386. And there's a little map of the old town, and everything in red is owned by the university. So you can see they still have quite a presence in the town. We are currently in the Universitätsplatz here. So again, surrounded by university buildings. There's a nice Heidelberg image for you. I saw a person wearing a mask. Yes, there's no laws about wearing masks at the moment. It's purely voluntary if you want to wear a mask in the street, not compulsory at the moment. This is more of this original university building. Nice big square we have here. Good. And for the person who was asking about renting bicycles, here are some bikes for you. Should be enough for all of us. So these bikes are part of the city bike scheme. So very easy to rent. Can do it with a credit card, it's not very expensive. And the best way to get around the town, I think. Here we have a bit of a building site, but hopefully I can show you a special plaque here. So, as I'm sure you all know, Germany is a very serious country that has produced many famous and important people. And I'm now going to show you a plaque to a man who is voted by Germans to be the second most famous German to have ever lived. I wonder if anybody could guess who that might be. Anyway, his plaque is coming up here. It is, of course, Martin Luther. And he gave a speech in this square on the 26th of April, 1518. He is, of course, the founder of the Protestant Church and considered a very important German. Not to be confused with Martin Luther from America, who actually got his name from that Martin Luther. Martin Luther, American Martin Luther's father came to Germany in the 1930s and was so impressed by Martin Luther that he named his son after him. This is quite a fun building. This is the university prison where they used to lock up the naughty students who were misbehaving. And today it's a museum and you can visit it. The Studentenkerze in German. So we are now going to rejoin the main street, and I'm going to show you my favorite building in the city, which happens to be the oldest residential building in Heidelberg. It's a very beautiful Renaissance building. Here's the delivery man getting his food. There's a bit of showing you we're completely live here. Ice cream, anyone? Uber Eats. This here is one of our cinemas. Nice little independent cinema. As you can see, pretty closed at the moment. But we'll hopefully open up again one day soon. Ah, look, here's the interesting people. There's a bit of two real Heidelbergers. We're on a very important tour here.
Who is it?
This is an interesting piece of live theatre for you. This lovely girl in red is actually my daughter. That's my dear daughter, Olive. She's a bit shocked that I'm filming her, but it's a bit of a coincidence. We've met her in the street. That's her good friend, Anouk. And that's what two real Heidelbergers look like. Do you have anything nice to say about your city? No. Oh, Anouk, it's great.
It's great, yeah.
It's great. There you have it. From
A lot of sunshine.
a lot of sunshine. That's right. So we're going to follow these two girls, not intentionally, but just so happens they're going in the same direction. Amazing what can happen on a live virtual tour. Nice. Dogs for you too. I'm sure you're all, some of you familiar with the Lamy pen, design made in Germany. Well, actually made in Heidelberg. Lamy is a Heidelberg company. So next time you're using your Lamy pen, remember that it comes from Heidelberg. So that's why they have a Lamy shop here. This is the Germans' favorite food is the currywurst. We have the currywurst restaurant here. It's a sausage, German sausage. There you go, there's the famous bratwurst, currywurst. Okay. So now we are steadily swinging downtown. Subway, yes, we do have a subway. Okay, so I'd like you to come and enjoy for a minute one of the most beautiful buildings in the town. We're back at the main church, as you can see. And just opposite the main church is this beautiful building. This is the Hotel Ritter. Look at the wonderful detail on this building. Built back in 1592. And sadly, it is a casualty of these strange Corona times. The hotel has gone out of business during Corona and is now empty, awaiting new owners. So you might have to wait a while before you can book a room there. These are these funny little stalls by the church again. So I've rather lost track of time, but feels like it's a good time to stop maybe. Thank you very much for joining me. A small snippet of Heidelberg. Do come and visit one day. It's a wonderful town to come and enjoy in Germany. I'd be very happy to give any of you a tour. There's lots to do here.
Thank you. Well,
visit.
you want, yes, I am going to stop here the recording.